Basic Education Minister Siviwe Gwarube and Deputy Minister Regina Mhaule are in Bloemfontein in the Free State as part of the ongoing National Listening and Learning Tour. Now, they will engage with the provincial leadership to discuss educational challenges and solutions unique to the province. Challenges include scholar transport and in rural areas in particular. So to give us an update on this story is our colleague Ishmael Modiba. Ishmael, good morning. So interesting development this in terms of the minister going from province to province to get, I suppose, a sense for herself the realities of what the education system is dealing with at ground level.
Indeed, good morning, Sakina. That is the situation where the minister is going province to province. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 6th province where the minister is going through this tour of learning and listening. But without wasting time, because she has been waiting for such a long time, she still has a meeting to conduct. Minister, let us just step into the discussion and speak about the purpose of this listening and learning tour that you are undertaking. What have you uncovered so far, and what is the basis or the purpose of this tour?
Thank you so much. It's very good to be in the Free State this morning. This is our 7th stop across the provinces, and I'm joined today by the MEC and her incredible team. And look, there are certain things that are common in most of the provinces. Number one, the issue around budget cuts is a big problem that's affecting all provinces. In fact, the MEC and I were discussing just now about the fact that how do we make sure that we sort out inefficiencies in the system? Because our real goal is to make sure that we protect frontline services. We want to protect teachers and make sure that there's a teacher in every classroom, that we are keeping the ratio of learners and educators at as low as possible, because we know overcrowding in schools in particular will affect the outcomes of education at the end of the day. So those are some of the things we are seeing. Infrastructure is also a very common theme. I'm going to be going around the province today. I know that they are not specifically one of the provinces that are affected necessarily by issues around pit toilets as such in the backlog that we need to deal with, but infrastructure is a huge problem, whether it's maintenance of infrastructure, whether it's appropriate sanitation, whether it's building of new schools. We know that this is a huge Achilles heel for us as a sector. And then of course issues around school safety we've been dealing now. I know that you were talking about the issue around food poisoning, and while these incidents we've been in fact having a discussion with the MEC now that these incidents are isolated and not necessarily taking place within our schools. But I've sought to engage with the Minister of Health to say, how do we get him and his team to perhaps do greater oversight, particularly with the vendors that sell to school children just outside of schools. But we're also asking municipalities to assist us, because of course this is a municipal function, to make sure that those who are selling food and those who are vendors are in fact abiding by the health and safety mechanisms that are there.
Yesterday I was listening to one of the parents at Mpumalanga saying that he's a parent and a member of the SGB saying, parents, let's stop giving these children money to buy, because at schools they are being provided. Where is the gaps on the loophole? Because we are seeing these numbers, and we are seeing rightly so it's an isolated thing, but it looks like the numbers are going. Looking at the numbers that were reported in yesterday in Mpumalanga.
Of course, I mean we lost 5 learners in Gauteng, so this is a crisis that we're not taking lightly, because I mean these are 5 learners that have lost their lives, and so it's incredibly serious. I don't necessarily think that the issue is around parents not necessarily giving their children money. I really think that there needs to be greater enforcement of bylaws that the cities and the municipalities need to look at. On our side, we are making sure that the school nutrition program is isolated from these kind of food poisonings. That's why we have to look after the school nutrition program as much as possible. 9.7 million children depend on that program, and for a lot of them that is the only meal that they will receive that day. And so we have to look after it, make sure that it's nutritious, make sure that it is safe, but also we have to make sure that the vendors, in fact the MEC, I'd like to bring her in now, where she was talking about some of the interventions she'd like to have around the people, the entrepreneurs who are selling in schools. MEC?
Unfortunately, Minister, because of time, we have to wrap up. Okay. That is the Minister of Basic Education, Siviwe, telling us, outlining us the importance of having a proper food nutrition, saying 9.7 million of children in South Africa rely on this. And that's what we have with the Minister.